am looking at. These are the sources for the information here. You can at any time you can click on this to go to that site and to read more. Okay, so these are all additional readings if you are interested. Of course, you should have an internet connection to do that. All right, and this particular link is available only when you are in the slideshow mode. All right, so wherein you can click, and if I click this there, it will go to the site. So these are the different sources I have taken up now. All right, so I have loaded all these programs in the drive and I asked you to execute. All right, now let's look at the first program. Write an ALP. What is ALP? Assembly level language. We have three levels of languages: the low level, the middle level or the assembly level, and the high level. C, C++ is not high level. The only middle level language which you're ever going to learn is what I'm going to teach now. All right, this is the only middle level or the assembly level programming. Now you must always remember what we learn in theory is 8086. What we're going to work in these programs 8085, which brings a lot of differences, maybe a lot of confusions also. All right. Now write an ALP to add two decimal numbers 3 and 5 using immediate address mode. Now we have understood what is the different types of addressing modes. We have register address mode, we have indirect addressing modes, we have different addressing mode. That's a topic in unit 2 as such. We have covered that. Now they're asking us to write a program to add two decimal numbers 3 and 5. Right. So an algorithm as such will be same for any language. That is not language dependent at all. Even if you are executing the same program in thing, algorithm and flowchart will be more or less the same thing. But of course here, since you're doing ALP, a little bit tinkering we should do. All right. So what are we doing here? So we are loading a. Okay. The second part of the question. Sorry. Store the final result at the memory location F600. So they have a specific memory location in which they want us to store that result. So whatever result you get, you need to push that result to this location. That's all. Also increment the final result by unity and store it in registers. Algorithm. Make it a practice to write algorithm which kind of tells you the step-by-step process to really know what to be done. All right. Of course, it is not necessary for you to write, but really helps you. All right. In your record also, if you want to write, you write. If you don't want to write, don't write. No problem. What do I want? I want you to have the program question very neatly written. Flow chart is a must, and of course, you will have to do these columns. All right, so let's do this. Load A. A is our register. We have A register, then BC, then DE, and HL. Why am I saying BC? Because they are all register pairs. BC is a register pair, DE is a register pair, HL is a register pair. So we have three sets of register pairs plus A. A is a very important register. We usually call it as accumulator. So we are loading that with the 3. Why 3? Because the question itself says that we need to add 3. All right, using MVI instruction. Okay, you don't need to write them, but if you want to write. Similarly, load B with 5. Now these two numbers are from the question itself, as you can see. All right, the question is asking us to add 3 and 5. So I'm loading A with 3 and B with 5. Perform addition using add. Sorry. Okay, using add instruction. Store the result obtained in A at F600 because they were asking us to do that. All right, so after you add, do that. So you can't do the fourth step without doing the third step. You'll have to go in the order. First step, second is second step, third is third step, and so on. So fourth is storing the result in F600. Next, fifth one, they're asking us to increment the value by 1. So increment the contents of A by using INR. All right. And of course, you push that to the register C and halt. So very, very simple, neatly written. Flowchart is also, as you can see, we are pushing the value into A, we are pushing the value into B. We are adding B and A, pushing the value into A. Okay, this is understood. All right. Then whatever value is in, that is the value we are pushing that to F600 by, because the question is asking us to put the final result in F600. We are doing that. Then they're asking us to increment the final result. So our answer is still in A only. So we are incrementing that, and then of course you're pushing that to register C, then stop. Now so much anybody can do. All right. these days coding is taught in 5th standard, 6th standard itself. So even the 5th standard, 6th standard fellow will do. Now we are doing ALP program. So much there's nothing about ALP. All right. This is where of all the teaching of all the lab sessions, whatever you learned comes into play, wherein you have to write this in an assembly level language programming. That is how this will look. Now, don't be scared looking at this. There are a few columns here. The last two columns are not very important, but in your record, you should have these columns. So your record should have all the 4 columns. Mnemonic, memory address. We call the third column as hex code. HEX, hexadecimal code, and then the number of bytes. Now, let's look at the code. Now, whatever I'm doing here, I'm writing it in a mnemonic language, all right, or in assembly mnemonics, using mnemonics in assembly level language. Load here. How do I load here? How do I load something with some value? I'm using the very simple instruction MVI, wherein I can store or load the accumulator with this value, which is in the instruction itself. I'm not asking the microprocessor to go to some location and the value is there, get that value and put it here. No, I'm saying in the instruction itself, this value is there. Now, as you can see, it takes in 2 bytes. As you can see in the last column, it says 2. So there are 2 memory addresses. Now, why is that? Now, as you can see in the hex code, 03, whatever is the second part of this mnemonic is over there, down. All right, we call that as a higher order. Similarly, 3E is here. Now, what is this 3E? 3E is the hexadecimal code for MVIA. So, in any program further, you must at least somewhere in your memory you should know. Okay, MVIA means the hex code is 3E. The next whatever 8-bit is there, that comes down here. All right. So MVIA is my first instruction. That takes in 2 bytes. So it takes in 2 memory addresses. Let's say I'm storing this mnemonics from this code onwards. So the hexadecimal code, you don't need to remember the hexadecimal code, don't worry. But I'm explaining the hexadecimal code, how it is. So what you must know is 3E is the hexadecimal representation of MVIA. So what is the 03? 03 is the data. 03 is the data from the question. Tomorrow they can print here as 7. Tomorrow they can print here as 8. The MVIA's value will be the same, but this value can change based on the program. All right, so that value is what comes over here. Similarly, the next instruction, if you were to look, MVIB. Why am I doing this? Because I have to load the second number into another register, MVIB, 05. So again, as we know, MVI is a 2-byte instructions. So the next location is F002 and F003. And of course, MVIB's value will be 06, all right? And 05 comes right like that. Okay. Don't worry as to why this is 06, why this is 3. That's not required at the moment. But just understand this 03 is the 03, this 05 is this 05. All right. So the 05, the mnemonic is the higher order hexadecimal code, which is there in this hexadecimal code column. Next, so you've loaded A, you've loaded B. If you were to look at what you should do next in the algorithm, it says perform addition. So you will use ADD, add. ADD is a very simple addition instruction. Now, I've also made a table for you all here. Now, this table is a very neat table, very, very interesting table also. Why I've listed out all the unique instructions from this program and I've put over here. So as you can see, there are 2 MVI. So I've just written once. Next instruction is add. Next new instruction is STA. Next instruction is INR. The next new instruction is MOV. And the last one is HLD. I've also written down the different types of instructions, categories they belong to. Now, if you remember in 8086, we learned about instruction classification, wherein we classified few instructions under data transfer, under arithmetic, under string, under logical, and so on. A few of the students also presented some topics on that. Now, so I have made a table. This is just an extra additional thing, so you understand. MVI is what type of an instruction? Can someone read this for me?
Data transfer instruction.
Data transfer, brilliant. So I'm hopeful that you are able to. It's definitely not data transfer. It's an arithmetic instruction. That is the classification. You must know this by heart. Okay. STA is, of course, we are storing it some location, storing it in this place, storing it there. It's a data.
No one is in the waiting room.
Hello, 5. You read this instruction. Just have in your mind as to, okay, what category does this instruction belong to? All right. Now, let's come back here. Now, let me first do this. So MVI, as we know, it's a 2-byte instruction. We are loading the instruction here and the data and the next address. Similarly, MVIB is again a 2-byte instruction. So I have two addresses here. The first hex code represents the MVIB. The next one represents the 05. So 05 as it is, the data you are putting it over there. Add B. Add B will be in the next instruction. It's just a 1-byte instruction, as you can see, just 1 byte. So the hexadecimal representation is 80. All right. You don't need to remember. In your exam, we're not going to ask you to write the third column. We're going to ask you to do the first column and the second column. Please don't mug up. You will not be able to follow through. All right. Now, STA F600 is a 3-byte instruction. Now you must know, okay, why is it 3-byte? Why is this 2-byte? Why is this 1-byte? You will know only when you do more programs and only when you're listening. Okay, so as you can see here, F600 is a memory location. Now, if you were to look at what is A and B, they are all registers. All right. Now, this is a what is a 16-bit address. Okay, which means to say 16-bit data. You can think like that. All right. So you're breaking this into two. All right. If you break F600 into two, then one piece will be 00. That is the lower order, and F6 will be the higher order. All right. So STA is just a 1-byte instruction, but this address will take the other next 2 bytes. So 00 will come over here, and F6 is coming on the other end. All right. So let me just take that pen.
So 00 will be one in one group and F will be in different, 6 will be in different, sir. So total three bytes.
Yes, yes. What did I say, Sharan?
No, no, I'm just confirming, sir.
Yes, so we breaking this particular memory location. This is, as you can see, each of these what do you say, character or letters are represented by four bits, right? So this is a 4-bit, 4-bit, 8-bit, then again 9, 11, 12, and 16. So this is a 2-byte thing. So we are breaking this into two. So 00 will be the lower order, the LSB, and the F6 is the higher order. That is the F6, which will be represented over here. All right. Now, so that's how my STA is represented. All right. Similarly, now why am I doing INRA after that? So after my store, I'm incrementing the contents. Why am I doing this? Because the question is asking me to do. You finish your addition long time back. You finish your addition in the 4th step itself. In the 5th step, we are again incrementing the contents of A by using INR. So I'm writing INRA. Now, what type of instruction is INR? As I mentioned, INR we increment. It's an arithmetic instruction. Just remember that at the back of the head. Now, what am I incrementing? I'm incrementing A. Now, if you were to look at instructions like INRA, ADDB, these are all 1-byte instructions, because nothing else. There's no other data or no, nothing else. Increment this. Add B is adding the contents of B with the contents of the accumulator and storing it in the accumulator. So much is done in add B, but it's still 1-byte instruction. Now, what are they asking us to do? Now they're asking us to push the value and also increment the final result by unity and store it in register C. So we have the answer in A. After incrementing, we need to push it to the register C. So move C comma A. Now if you were to look at the instruction MVI and MOV, it's very different. Why is it different? In MVI you have the data 03. In MOV we are moving the contents of a register. We don't have the data in MOV. Understood? So MOV C comma A, what are we doing? We are moving the contents of the register A to C. That is a 1-byte instruction. So we have the contents here. All right. If there was data there, then I was having it as a 2-byte. All right. Then of course I have my HLT hall, which has a mnemonic I mean, which has the hexadecimal code as 76. All right. So this is what it is. Please remember the instruction class category which category they belong to. It's very important. All right. Both see MVI we also have in our 8086. So under if at all if there's a question called as instruction classification, you can write that. All right. Same thing. Similarly, INR you will have INR even in 8086. What is INR in 8085? It's an arithmetic. In 8086 also it's arithmetic. That won't change just because it's 8086. All right. The classification, the categories will be the same. All right. So remember the categories as well. And one more point we must notice, if you look at these addresses as they keep incrementing, after 8 it's 9, after 9 it is A. So they are following the hexadecimal pattern in this memory address. Why am I saying this? Because in your exam you will have to write the memory addresses. We will only give you the question. We will only give you a question like this. You will have to first write the flow chart, this one, then write the mnemonic column and the memory address column. We are not interested in the number of bytes. We are not interested in the hexadecimal code.
Can see the screen.
Perfect, Advaita. Nothing like this. Thank you.
Yes.
Can you zoom in a little more? Possible?
Yes, sir. Let me check. This is the maximum I can do.
That's the maximum. Okay, we'll manage. No problem.
Yeah.
So this is our first program, is it, Advaita?
Yes, sir. What you thought right now?
But there are 3 MVIs, if I can see there.
Yeah, I just cleared the register C, sir. I just resetted the register C.
The others, the new ones who are the new to program will be confused, Advaita. It will be nice if you can stick on to Sorry. Can you write a comment line on top saying a program to add? So students, that's a comment line. A comment line is just to let you all know what kind of program this is. It's a very good habit, especially if you want to be a programmer, if you want to be in the software industry. Make this as a practice. All right, it will really come in handy because you write a program today, somebody is looking at the program tomorrow, they'll have to understand. All right, so the program is to add 2-bit numbers. Okay. All right, now you know. All right, so we have the MVIA, MVIB, add, STA, INR, move. Why is move C comma A in black, Advaita?
I'm not sure, sir, why it is.
Advaita can click on autocorrect and it will correct it.
Okay.
That's Harish, is it?
Yes, sir.
Harish, you ready with the next program?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Perfect. There you go. So first step, you won't be given a simulator in your practical exam. You will have to write it in a piece of paper, then come to us. After we sign, only then you will be given a system. Okay. And in the system, once you open the simulator, this is how you write. Understood, students? Am I making sense?
Yes.
I'm speaking in terms of your practical exam. Okay. All right. So yeah, what was your question now, Sharad?
The memory address and the memory range, I mean, that will be I mean, that can be one same only, right?
That's your choice. Yes, yes. Click on assemble now, Advaita, please. All right. So what have we written here? we have written the addresses. Okay. This particular address column is what you're speaking, is it?
Yes, yes, the start from.
Yeah, that's your choice. You can start from anything actually.
Okay.
So here we have started from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. That's absolutely fine. But as you can see, the number of instructions is the same. So our first is 2 byte, next is 2 byte, next is 1 byte, store is 3 byte, then INR is 1 byte, then move is 1 byte, then HLD. Okay. So that's how you do it. So click on step by step. Advaita, please. All right, forward. Yeah, so as you can see now the control is coming on top. That's the first control, okay, wherein we are moving the data to the accumulator. Yes, next, forward. That's what we read now. Now the data is moving to B. Okay, perfect.
I mean, it has already moved, sir. In registers, you can just check your 09 has come.
Okay.
Yeah, after adding 5 plus 3, then incrementing 1.
Right. I should have seen that. So we need to restart it again, right?
Yeah, we can just
So
stop
we'll have
it.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, click on assemble now. Yeah, so students, as you can see, one second, Advaita, one second. As you can see on the right hand side, which Sharath pointed out to us, register B, register C, D, E, all of them are zeros. All right, all the values are zeros. Now, as we proceed through each of the instructions, you can see the changes happening. What changes? Now we are pushing something to register A. So at that time, you can see the accumulator is loaded with that value. Okay, the next time Advaita pushes the button forward, you can see the value 5 moving to B and so on. All right, so please have an eye on the accumulator on the set of registers. That is where the actual changes are taking place. All right, go ahead, Advaita. So as you just see, as you can see, the accumulator is loaded with some values now. Okay, go ahead, next one. As you can see now, register B, yep, it's very small on my screen, so yes, it's loaded up now. Yes, very good, thank you, Advaita, for pointing it. Next, add B. Now as you can see, the B is now adding. Okay, it's added. Okay, thank you. Next step. Now we are storing the value in F600. All right, that we can't see over here. Okay, click forward. Okay, all right, so that's been stored. Okay, as you can we can't see that now. Okay, next, click forward. All right, increment A. Now as you can see, increment A. Can you go backward now? Is it possible? And then now can you come forward? Yeah, that's right. So as you can see, at the moment we come to that instruction in a few fraction of seconds, that's getting executed. So our increment A, you can see the changes happening in the accumulator. All right. Now we are pushing the value from A to C. Have an eye on the register C. Please have an eye on the register C. And as you can see, register C is incremented now. Okay. This is like commentary. All right. And then next forward, we halt the program. All right. So your examiner will ask you questions about hex code. He might ask you questions about the cycles. All right, and as you can see, yes, this is how you see the answer. Answer, as you can see, is in F600. All right, and these are the different hexadecimal values for the different memory addresses. All right. All right. Any questions, students, with our first program? Anybody? Very important.
So what if any value was there in register C? What will happen?
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, a good way to program is to clear that off and then to add it. But whenever we come across this move operation, no, so the source won't be changed, but the destination will be refreshed with the new value.
Okay. What about the store, sir? STA.
You mean to say you could have used that instruction, is it?
STA F600.
Correct. So as we study, STA is again a data transfer instruction. It stores the value in that memory location F600. Oh, you want to see that, is it?
No, it will refresh it. Whatever the data is there, it will remind re-add it, right?
That's a good question. In for storing, is it? I'm hoping it does. Yes. Can someone write that down so that we can work on it? Very good question. What if there is already a value in F600? Does it?
No, sir. I mean, normally when we checked yesterday, I mean, when we ran all those 3 to 4 programs, I mean, we'll be editing each program, right? So it will be all refreshed. It will be all set
No.
to zero.
That question is not whether it's refreshing or not. The question is more of a theoretical question. What if there is data there? Will that data be overwritten on it, or will the data be somewhere there, or something like that?
Okay.
Good question, Advaita. I'll take it. We will solve it. Any other question? Anand, I thought you have some questions, Anand.
Not in this program, sir.
Not in this program. Can I bring in some girls? Girls, if you have any questions. Any girls? Open to girls now. Any questions with? This is our first program, so it's very important.
Sir, every time, I mean, the accumulator line has to be written in first only, sir. I mean, for example, MVIA.
Not necessarily, Sharad.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay. I mean, B can be written first and next A
Hey, it
can be
looks
written.
better now, Advaita. What do you do?
Yeah.
I was had maximized that one. Now I minimized.
Oh dear man, this is how I wanted to see, man. What is this, man?
Sir, in
Sarath,
that,
you
yeah.
in any part of the program you can bring in the accumulator and store it. Not necessarily the accumulator should get the first priority, but the accumulator as such is a special register. That is for sure.
Okay, fine. And sir, what is those? I mean, beside the registers, we have 7654321, and 3 has been set to 1 and 0 has been set to 1. So, what are all those?
Hey, this is that hexadecimal value, man. For example, to convert from decimal to binary, how do you do it? For example, 9. What is the value of 9?
And for binary, we need 7 to be set as 1, right? 7 and 2.
No, this is you're representing the 9. Let's say 0, 9. See, the value there is 0, 9. Look at the accumulator. The value is 0, 9. 0 you're using to represent 4 bits. So 0, 0, 0, 0. You represent 0. Now, how do you represent 9? 9 is 1, 0, 0, 1.
Oh, okay. It's taking. Okay, fine.
This is
Because
a direct representation of binary of these decimal values. Now, how do you get these decimal values? Because you added. The program asks us to add a 5 and what? 5 and 4, is it? Or whatever. 5 and 3, and then we incremented 1 and so on. I hope we are clear as to why we are incrementing, guys. The question is asking us to increment.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, got it.
All right. So we've almost covered an hour. I want to put it in register C. Okay. They want two values. One is what we have added in F600, and what happens after we increment that. So they want us to try out incrementing, they want us to try out storing, they want us to try out different instructions. That is the reason they have given a program like this. When you go to a fruit juice shop, you will get mixed fruit juice, no? Wherein it's a mix of everything. So something like that is this program wherein you are not only adding, you're learning about storing in some other place, you're also learning about incrementing and all of that. So as I said, these are the different instructions coming to this program, and these are the different categories. The different lines are explaining to you what those types of instructions are. And please remember, the memory location address is following the hexadecimal pattern. So after 9, it is not 10, it is A. All right, remember that. So you must remember about addition. Any 8-bit number or the contents of a register or the contents of memory location can be added. So we can add 8-bit number, contents of a register. Now what have we added here in MVIA? We are adding the data, the 8-bit we are adding. All right. So tomorrow they can ask you to contents of a register. All right. So you can have 2 registers and you can add them. So here, as you can see, in our add B instructions, we are adding the contents of a register here, as you can see. Okay, my first example was about moving. Sorry, the result is stored in the accumulator. No 2 other 8-bit registers can be added directly. You can't add them directly. In the sense, what am I trying to say? Here 8 add B, you are adding with only with respect to the accumulator. All right, you can't do add B plus C, add C plus A, no, add C plus D, no. You have to do everything with respect to the accumulator. All right, the contents of the register B cannot be added directly to the contents of register C. Okay, that is an example. All right, program 2. All right, program 2 is asking us to add 3 numbers. All right, very simple. It's almost the same thing, just that we have 3 data. So we are pushing the first data to A, the second data to B, the third data to C. Add B plus A, so the value of A and B is in A. Then adding with C with A, so the A is now having the sum of A plus B plus C, and then we are pushing the value to B. Why? Because it is asking us store final answer in B register. Okay, we store it final answer in B. Stop. So this is how my mnemonics are looking. All right, MVI A02. Now the value they have given the question itself, as you can see on top of the question, addition of 3 given hexadecimal numbers 241. The 2 is the first data. The question itself is given as a value. So MVI A comma 02. So we are moving or pushing the value 2 to A. All right. MVI, we know it's a data transfer instruction. All right. MVI B, again we are pushing what 04 to B, and MVI C we are pushing 01 to C. All right. Now as you can see, MVI are all this 2-byte instruction. The first byte is representing 3E. Now previously here also MVI A 3E, MVI B 06. Now that is going to remain the same. MVI A is 3E. As you can see, the hexa code here 3E. MVI B 06. All right, that is not going to change. Even if you go to Africa and do the same program, the hexadecimal code is the same. All right, this 02 is what comes here. This 04 is what comes here. That is the reason it's 2-byte instruction. Then the 01 comes here. Now, when I say comes here, what I mean, I'm trying to say that this MVIC is occupying 1 byte. This 01 is occupying the other byte. That is the reason it's 2-byte instruction. Now, why is this 01 1 byte? Because 0 is represented by 4 bits, 1 is represented by 4 bits. Here again 0 is represented by 4 bits. This 4 is represented by 4 bits. So the 04 is 1 byte. MVIB, to represent MVIB, is this hexadecimal code 06. MVIEA is 3E. Okay, as you do the program, you will only remember all the hexadecimal codes also. So MVIA is 3E, MVIB is 06, MVIC is 0E, 02, 04, 01 you write below that. That's a higher order. Add B is a 1-byte instruction, you know that by now. Add C, you know that it's again a 1-byte instruction. Move A to B, and so on. And then again we are using immediate address, store the result in C, and then we are having the result in C. Why are we doing B plus A? Okay, hold on. C comma A. All right, that B plus A is an extra thing that is not needed. Please don't write this line. Okay, hello, I hope you're all listening. The flowchart, this particular line is wrong. Please don't use that. Okay, I'm just looking for that. Okay, as you can see, the mnemonics MVIA 05. Now we know MVIA by now, as you can see in our first program program, in the second program, MVIA is 3E. In our first program also, MVIA is 3E. All right. So MVIA, we know hex code is 3E. All right. 05 now comes down 05. Why 05? Because the question is asking us to subtract 3 from 5. So the first we are loading the accumulator with 5. All right. Next MVIB 03. So the next, of course, MVIA is a 2-byte instruction. MVIB is another 2-byte. So F003. All right. F00. Oh, okay. They have done a printing mistake here again. All right. They've written F003 twice, and then the next one is 4. So this is completely wrong. So this is 0, 1, 1. Okay, they've started with 1. Fine. 2, 3. This should be 4. Students, you're following. The second memory location of the MVIB should be F004. All right. 004, then hex code is 03. Why is it 03? Because this 03 is the data. All right, it's directly coming in. 3 is represented by 4 bits, 0 is represented by 4 bits. Together, it's 1 byte. That's the second part of these 2 bytes. All right, 06 is again MVIB representation. Sub is subtraction. As you can see in this particular table, sub is part of an arithmetic instruction. Subtracts the contents of register B with accumulator and stores the result in accumulator. All right, we are doing that. Then we have the value in A. We are pushing that value to C, and then we are halting. So this B plus A is not needed. All right, please don't have that. Let me just use a pen and then write here. Okay, I have done the scratches. I hope you please do not write this particular line, and of course this won't be 3 over here. All right, this will be 4, which means this will be 5, which means this will be 6. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Which means this will be 7. All right.
Yes.
Yes, Harish.
Yes, Harish.
So we have loaded the program in the editor. So now when we clicked on assemble.
Wait, man. You go so soon you want to click on assemble. We'll just see whether you have written all the lines.
Okay, sir.
MVIA 05, MVIB 03, subs B, move A, comma C. Okay, perfect. Everybody agrees? Can you all see all the registers values are all zeros? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Satya, yeah, you have a question, Satya? You need to
This
repeat
program
that,
if you
Satya.
want to see later. After executing, sir, how do we save, sir? If you want to see later, so how do we save, sir, this program?
Advaita, can you help me with that? Do you have a facility for programs?
To save the program?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it is there, sir. You have to go to file. In the file, you
Okay.
can see save assembly language code.
Harish, can you do that for us? Can we see that?
Yes, sir. So we go to file and we click on save assembly language code.
Yes.
And we will choose the location where we want to save, and we give a name.
Where is all that? I don't see all that. Oh, you're not sharing your entire screen, is it?
Yes, sir. It is opening in a pop-up. So I just need to reshare it again.
Yeah, can you do that?
Okay.
Good question, Satya. Very impressed.
Thank you, sir.
But did you? Harish has 5,000 mails.
Sorry, sir.
All right, guys, look at what
So-
Harish is doing. This is how you save your program.
So we go to file in the menu option and we click on save assembly language. And we give a name.
That's it. What is the type? Does it save in it as a text format or how?
No, sir. It is in a ASM format, assembly code language.
So this will be only can be executed only by the simulator, no?
Yes, sir. There are other simulator also can open this when we save it in a ASM format.
Oh wow, wow. Okay, good. Thank you, Harish. Yes, thank you, Advaita. Good job. Yeah, so you can run it now for us.
So
Step by step. Hey, step by step, man. Can I click on stop because some registers are already having values?
yes, sir. Now, when I click on step by step, there is a error, sir.
Okay, fine.
So that's why it is already loaded into the registers.
Okay.
You can do assemble once again from the beginning.
No, but I think his simulator has some issues. He was telling me. I'm not very sure what the issue was. All right, yeah. Okay, that's a system issue as such. Okay. Students, all I want you to see is the on the right hand side. See, writing a program is easy. All right, please, I'm sure you will all remember. But you must also notice the values as they change as we move down the program, as we move down the instructions. All right, the values in register B, whatever registers we are interacting with, those data coming in there. All right, that is how you show your answer to the external. And of course, you also go to the memory as such. Click on memory, Harish. Yeah, that's how you should show the value. So where is our answer actually now?
It is C, it should be in C register.
It's in C register. All right. So you need to go to
Yes, sir.
register.
But not executed properly. Okay.
Why? What do you mean? Not executed properly?
Earlier it was not there, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, step by step is not working, sir. Only the run all time is working.
All right. Is that okay, students?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. I need to see all the programs with whatever we are discussing. Maybe I'll mention it at the end of the thing. All right. So the next fourth program, write an ALP to multiply two numbers 5 and 2 by repeated addition. Wow, that's a very interesting program. Clear the accumulator first and store the result in register C. All right. So what are they asking us? They're asking us to write an assembly level program to multiply two numbers 5 and 2. Now they want us to do this by repeated addition. Now we all know multiplication is nothing but repeated addition. Like if they say 5 into 2, that means we're adding the number 5 twice. If they say 4 into 3, that means we are 4 into 3 is nothing but 4 added 3 times. 4 plus 4 plus 4. Right. So by doing that, they want us to do this multiplication problem. So what do? They've also given us the instruction, clear the accumulator first. So first, let's do that. So step 1 is clear A. All right. What do I mean by clear? Means I'm putting the value 0, 0 to A so that accumulator is refreshed or accumulator is having the value 0. All right. Transfer the first number to B. What is my first number? Is 5. All right. So I'm transferring that to B. Add the other number to A. Now then I'm adding the other number to A. Okay. I'm adding. Remember the word adding. Next, fourth step. Decrement the B by 1. Now we are going to use this B as a counter and we're going to decrement it. Now you already worked on increment opcode INR. Now we're going to work with decrement. All right, and repeat steps 3 to 4 until it becomes 0. So we are repeating the step 3 and 4 until B becomes 0. Transfer the contents of A to register C. Now why are we doing that? Because they're asking us to do it. So first we are clearing A. Next we are transferring one number to B. The third step, they are asking us to add the other number to A. Okay. Why are we doing add? Because we are going to do repeated addition. Repeated addition how many times? As when until this B becomes 0. So let's say the value is 5. We go B is 2. We're going to add this 5 twice, 2 times. All right. So 5 is 2. So we're going to decrement B. All right, till it becomes 0, and then we are repeating the steps 3 and 4, and then we are transferring the value to register C. So that's how you see flow chart as well, all right, which is given. So here #1 simply represents the first number. It can be anything. In this case, it's 5. All right, and #2 of course represents the second number. In this case, which is 2. All right, so we are going to have B as a counter until this B becomes 0. We are going to keep adding its value with A. That's all. So I have a in flow chart, as you know, I have a new symbol here to test my condition, wherein this will have 1 input and 2 outputs. Until this becomes 0s, I'm going to keep doing this operation. All right, and so I have these list of values. All right, mnemonics. Can you just take a minute and just look into that? Just look at my screen on my right hand side also, wherein I have listed out a table saying these instructions are what type of instruction. All right. Students, I'll be back in a minute. Just give me 1 minute time. I'll just be back in a minute. Meanwhile, please have a simulator. Please write the program as well. back, this is a very interesting program. So far, we were just doing addition. All right. We did addition, simple addition. Then we did what was the previous program? Students, can you hear? Hello, students.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. So our first program was simple addition. We did that. Then we added 3 different numbers. That's what we did. Then we did subtraction. Then we did subtraction. And now we are doing multiplication. And we are doing this multiplication not using anything with new operation. We are just doing the multiplication in the form of repeated addition. All right. So as given in the program, we are multiplying 5 and 2. So let's put one value 5. What have we done? Okay, let's look at the program. Okay, we'll better understand this. So what do they want us to, in the particular algorithm? As you can see, clear A. How do I do clear A? Means what? As you can see the flow chart here also, we are pushing the value 0, 0 to A. Means I am moving immediately the value 0, 0 immediately to MVI. All right. You really can't use MOV here because we are not referring to the contents of another register. We are simply saying A should be the value of A should have 0, 0. So I'm using MVI wherein the data is in the instruction itself to which register A. So MVI A comma 0, 0. This is a 2-byte instruction. We all know this by now. MVI A, we also know the hexadecimal code will be 3E. Of course, you don't need to remember that. Then, of course, the 0, 0 comes below here. All right. Why is this 0, 0 coming below? Because this is part of this instruction. This instruction is now 2-byte instruction. This is the first byte of hex code and this is the second byte. Similarly, MVIB by now you must be knowing it is 06. Okay. Oh, again they have made an error here with respect to the addressing. Okay. Why did they do a mistake like this? Okay. All the addresses will change now. Okay. All the addresses will change now because they have to follow the sequence 1, 2, 3. After 3 comes 4. All right. A small typo mistake there. So MVIB comma 05. Of course, it's a 2-byte instruction just like the previous one. MVIB's hex code is 06. 05 comes in like that itself. MVIB as such is 1 byte and the 05 is the next byte. ADI. Now, this ADI is something very, very interesting. We have not come across that. We have come across something called as ADD, right? We've come across ADD, as you can see here. ADD, ADD, we have come across. Now, what is this ADI? ADI is a new instruction which you're working on. ADI 02. Now, what is this ADI? So ADI's hex code is C6, 02 is this value. Now, if we were to look into the program here, they have given us 2 numbers, 5 and 2. All right, they have given us. We have loaded 5 in B. All right, so this value of 5 is gone into B. Now, what are we doing? Now we are adding this to. Now, how are we going to add this to? Add immediate to accumulator. Okay. So in the next slide, I have some pieces of information for all these new instructions which we're gonna encounter. I can't say instruction, new opcodes. All right. So ADI is an opcode. What is the operand it can take? It can take an 8-bit data. What is the 8-bit data it's taking? 0, 2. 0 can be represented as 4 bits. 2 is represented as 4 bits. So together it's 8-bit. So ADI is the opcode, 02 is my data. What does it do? It adds immediate to the accumulator. So it adds this value to the accumulator. So the 8-bit data is added to the contents of the accumulator. The result is stored in the accumulator. All flags are modified to reflect the result of the addition. All right. So the contents are the 8-bit is added to the contents of the accumulator, just like your ADD. The result is stored in the accumulator, just like your ADD. All flags are modified to reflect the result of the addition. Here we are having something to do with flags. Now let's just have a look at that. Okay, so so far what we have done, we have cleared the accumulator and we are storing the accumulator with the value 00. We are storing the value 05 in our register B, and we are adding 02 to A. All right. Now, as you can see here in the program also, we did this first step. We loaded the next number to B, that is 05. We did that. In the next step, we are adding the next number. So adding this number. So the second number they want us to add to the accumulator. So the second number is this number 2. The second number is number 2 itself. All right. Now, what do they want? They want us to decrement B. Now we're going to decrement this value B. Okay. How many times you're going to decrement this B? So many times till it becomes 0. All right. Now decrement B, then jump to F004, and we are asking you to jump to F005 actually. All right, because this 4 will be here. When they say ADI 02, we are speaking of F005. All right. So this is not 4, this is 5. Now, what is this JNC? Now, a few girls, I think, they kind of did a topic on JNZ, and then they presented to us. All right, if you were to look at the different types of jumps we have, all of these jumps are part of a branching instruction. Now, that's a new category which we are learning. Now, so far, we've only had data transfer, arithmetic. Now, we are having some category called as branching. What are branching? That means our sequential flow is interrupted, and now we are asking the control to be shifted to some other part of the program based on some condition. What is my condition? If there is no 0, then jump. Right? Jump where? Jump to F005. Why F005? F005 because I have to till it becomes 0, I am jumping. All right. So this also here also it should be F005. All right. Then of course move A to C. That's the answer, and halt. All right. It's a very simple program. It's a bit tricky. The tricky part is to have the jump.
MVI A comma 0.
Harish, now come and do one, Harish. That's it. Next slide.
Sir, I mean, for initializing A accumulator to 0, we can use clear A also, right, sir? We can just use CLR A.
Clear is an instruction here, Sharath. You sure?
Yeah, no, I'm just asking, sir. Can we use that? Because
We'll have to figure out. Good question, Sharath. Good question. Daniel, will you be able to help me with Sharath's question, Daniel? Sharath, what can you do is can you type out the program if possible on the chat? Who can do that?
yeah, sure.
If somebody can do that, Harish can easily copy that from the chat. Is somebody typing for us in the chat? Hey, don't type one instruction one by one. At least 2-3 instructions you give that. Okay, Harish, type as I say. 64 is putting in the chat. I will read it out for you, Harish. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So type MVI A,00. 64. Keep typing. MVI A,00. Next line MVI B,05.
Hi, sir. Sorry, actually, I was in a call.
No,
It
no
was
problem.
Thank you.
ADI 02. ADI 02. See, so you stop typing, is it?
Not able to hear, sir, properly.
ADI.
Okay, sir.
D, A as in Africa, A as in America, T as in Mark, I as in Iceland.
Done, sir.
02, very good. DCR 3, next line, yeah, decrement, DCR.
So, do you want me to help, sir?
T as in Denmark, P as in Canada, R as in Russia. D, man. Then only D and D. Yeah, that.
Do you need any help, sir?
It's almost next line. JNZ, yeah, JNZ. F0. 05. Man.
Sir, your voice is
005.
breaking.
F0. Gosh, what can I do, man? I hope it's better now. Now that I did some magic.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, F005, that is JNZ.
Okay. But okay, sir. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, perfect. Assemble now. You have to say start from F000, no?
So
Start
we need
from
to take that memory location, sir.
which memory location? Yeah, it's clear, right?
F00.
Start from F000.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'll run it, sir.
Now execute. So what should be the answer? The answer should be seen in C. Okay. You said step by step is not working for you, no?
Corrected it, sir.
You corrected that.
Yeah.
All right. So students, as you can see, our register B is now loaded with. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Now. So this is the. Let's see how our multiplication works. As you can see, everything is. Memory 3E. Okay. Yeah, we are in the first instruction, so our accumulator is going to be loaded with the 00. So that's happening. Okay. Down. Next. Yeah. Now, as you can see, our register B is loaded with 0, 1, 0, 1. All right, I'm reading out the last 4 bits for register B. All right. So 0 is represented as 0, 0, 0, 0. That's the first four bits to represent 0. 5 is represented as 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, fine. Come down. ADI is a new instruction. It's an arithmetic instruction wherein we are adding 0 to. All right. So what's happening here? So we are adding 0 to what? What did my thing say? ADI is add immediate to the accumulator. So as you can see, my accumulator is having 1, 0 now. As you can see at the end. Can you go back now, Harish? One step back. Yeah, if you go one step back, then you can see the accumulator is all zeros. Click forward now. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the accumulator is loaded now. All right. So we're going to add this to 5. Okay, we're going to do that how many times? Okay, let's see now. So come down, decrement B. So till the decrement B becomes 0, we're going to do that. So decrement B. So B is now decremented. All right. Look at the value of register B now. Can you go back? Look at how the value of register B, it was 0, 1, 0, 1, the last 4 bits. I'm reading of the last 4 bits, students, of register B. Please look there. Now click forward. Now you can see that the value 5 is now becoming 4. We are decrementing it. Click forward, Harish. Yes, there you go. The register B is decremented. Now the next instruction is jump. Okay, click on that. Oh, okay. Something is wrong right here. Okay, click on that. Okay, JNG005. Okay. Next, forward. Okay. So we're gonna jump to our F005. Okay. What is happening here?
It's not jumping, sir, to the next forward.
Okay.
It's not coming to the move CA.
It's not coming to?
It's not coming to the next instruction, sir. Move.
No, it shouldn't come. Keep pressing it 5 times. We'll see what happens. Do you see any value changing in either B? No, right?
No, sir.
No. So where have we gone wrong? Advaita, can you help us out? Okay, where have we gone wrong?
So we have to. So we have to mention like B should come to 0, right, sir?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Harish.
Sir, you have to jump to F004, sir.
Okay, try that. My question is, how is the...
Because we are starting from 0000, sir.
Okay. So we start from 001, man. Okay, here in our program. Yeah. Okay, you're right. So what happens when you click forward now?
Nothing, sir.
Do you see any value changing?
No, sir.
Our program counter value is changing. Program counter, instruction counter value is changing. What is it? What should be the problem? No, just type 00004 there. Don't type F, Harish, because
Okay, sir.
our addresses are all from zeros, right? One more zero. Yeah. Now assemble. Yeah. Now run. Oh, from the first is it? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it
It's
is coming
happening.
back to 4.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, good. So where we go wrong? Yeah, for in our textbook, they have taken the memory location from F00, but here in the simulator, they are taking the memory location from 0000. That's absolutely fine. All right. If you want to change that, maybe you should change here, Harish, down. No, say start from, right? Anyway, all right. So we can
Here,
have.
sir, we can give the memory location.
But you had given there, no?
No, but I didn't assembled it, sir, from this.
They. Okay, man. Okay, now, don't fiddle with that. We'll do
Okay.
that later. Okay. All right. Okay. Shall we do this from first? Can you go back and assemble once again, Harish? Advaita, would you like to explain this, or someone else? Yeah, we have 70 showing us a picture. Yes, 70. Hello. Who is 70? Hello, 70.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Next one.
you wanna just explain this, man? It's a nice picture which you have sent.
Sir, no, sir.
Okay. Any volunteers? Advaita, you want to give it a shot?
With confusion, sir, but let me try.
Okay. I didn't know what that meant, but anyway. All right. So we have Harish. Can you go to the editor? All right. So guys, this is a program to do multiplication, but we are doing multiplication in the method of repeated addition, for which we need to have a counter which kind of decrements the value. All right. Because we're going to add till that value becomes 0. All right. So we're going to have a new set of instructions. So we're going to load 00 to A. Then we're going to load the first value to B. Then we're going to add, all right, that ADI, that to 02, then we're going to decrement, then we're going to jump, and then we're going to move. All right, so these are the instructions. This is the program. Click assemble, Harish. As you can see, all the registers are reset. Everything is from fresh. All right, so we're going to do it step by step. So our first instruction is MVI. We are very familiar with it by now. As you can see, the hex code is 3E, and 00 is the other the value, the data which is present down in the second byte. All right. The next instruction is again MVIB. All right. MVIB 05. As you can see, MVIB, the hex code is 06. That is written in that hex code column. The 05 is brought in as it is. All right. Now, the 05 is the data, just as your 00 was your data. Now, 0005 are all data. That is the reason you're using MVI, immediate data. You're having the data in the instruction itself. All right. Now, the data is of 1 byte. So, you're writing 05 there. All right. The next instruction is ADI. ADI is wherein we are going to add the contents, this data with the contents of the accumulator, and we'll see what happens. So ADI's hex code is C6, and we're going to add 02. Now we're going to add 02 to the accumulator. So once the control comes here, you can see the accumulator is changed. Where are you now, Harish? Can you click on next?
I'm not started, sir. Step by step.
Start. Hey, start,
Not yet.
man. Very good. So this is where the first line of instruction is executed. As you can see, the second line. Wait, man, wait.
No, it is taking time, sir, for you to just refresh.
Okay. Now you're already in decrement. Okay. Anyway, so we've added the contents of accumulator with the 02. 02 is my value here. All right. and then we are decrementing b. Now what is b? B is having that value 5. All right, now I'm going to decrement that 5 by 1, so that the new value of b will be 4. Now you can see that in the register b, wherein the first bit 0 is represented as 0 0 0 0. The next value 4 is represented as 0 1 0 0. All right, so it's decremented. Now what are we doing next? Harish, as you can see, the next instruction is jump. We're going to jump to 0004 location. As you can see in the address, 004 is the one which we're going to do. We're going to add 2 to the accumulator. All right. So and then this now JNC, as you can see, is a 3 byte instruction. It has having 2 byte address itself. So the 04 is the higher lower order, and the 00 is the higher order. So you write the lower order first and the higher order the second. All right, below that. All right, and then ADI is executed now. This is the second time it's executing. So what is the value of A there? As you can see, A's value is now 0100. The last 4 bits come down. We are decrementing the value of B. All right, B is now 3. All right, and then we're going to again jump now, because it is not 0. All right, till it is 0. All right, we're going to do this jump. All right, so jump up again. All right, ADI 02. We're going to add 2 to what? Add 2 to the accumulator. All right, and then decrement B. All right, come down. So we're going to decrement B, and then check if 0. All right, if our thing is 0, and then go back and then add 2, come down, decrement B, go up again, and so on. All right, so we are doing this. All right, one more time, I think. So JNC is going to check with what? It's going to become 0. It's going to check with B. When is this B becoming 0? B initially had a value 5. We started with that. Then next time it comes to decrement, becomes 4 after decrementing. The next time it decrements, it becomes 3. The next time 2, and so on. So finally we have the value in the accumulator. We are pushing the value from A to C. Now you can see the register C is the same thing as register A. All right, accumulator and register C are the same. All right, and then we halt it. All right, good. So this is how you do a multiplication in terms of repeated addition. All right, so this is the program to do multiplication. All right, I don't think we have time to do the next program. Please execute all the programs, even the ones which are not completed. We shall be talking about it in the next classes. But till multiplication now, it should be in your record. So your addition of 2 numbers, addition of 3 numbers, subtraction, and multiplication. Please have it in your record. All right. Any questions, guys?